Oh yeah, it's double organic. Should humans eat greens? This is a video response to some videos on YouTube I saw where Ted Carr, a friend of mine, and Brianna Jackson, I think, is no longer eating greens. And so what I want to talk about is this safe? And are they right or are they wrong? Well, the too long didn't watch is basically probably not, but maybe with a really focused diet, you might be able to hit just about everything. We'll talk about that shortly. First, because there's a lot of different people out there who probably are not eating greens in the fruitarian / raw vegan world, I'm just gonna focus on what Ted and Brianna said in their videos, and so let's go over that. So first, what do they eat? Obviously they eat fruit, probably not any nuts and seeds, which is mostly what I do as well, and no cruciferous veggies, no carrots, no cauliflower, broccoli, no root veggies, all those kind of things, no leafy greens. They are okay with eating things such as cucumbers and tomatoes and zucchini, as they said. And I would imagine they're probably okay with bell peppers as well. So let's go over the couple things that they said in their videos as to why they do not eat greens. So some of what Ted and Brianna say are that they do not crave greens, they are not drawn to it. This is some gorgeous romaine lettuce. It tastes awesome. And I want to point out that in the video, Ted is pointing to the trees around him. And I just want to say that this is not the same as leaves on a tree. Adding on to that point, they say that they just don't like the taste of it. And that's their reasoning for not eating greens. I think that's not a very strong reason. That's like saying, I don't eat kiwi because I don't like the taste. Sure, that's fine. If you don't like it, don't eat it. But saying that about an entire food group doesn't hold much water. That's like saying, I don't like meat, so I'm not going to eat it. Well, that's awesome that you just coincidentally do not like the taste of meat and therefore do not eat it. Because that's a great health choice to not eat meat. But it's a shitty reason to say, I don't like the taste of meat, so I'm not going to eat it. There's much better reasons out there, such as ethics, health, the environment, etc. So I don't think it's a very good reason. One thing that Ted says is that it's not ethical to eat greens. And what he also says is that, you know, talking about ethics, it's not an easy subject. And you're right, Ted, it's not an easy subject, so I'm not even going to talk about the ethics of eating leafy green vegetables in this video. Both Ted and Brianna say you need to cover greens in some sort of either fatty or sweet sauce to eat them. Not true. So there is one more thing that Ted said that we'll leave for later at the end of the video, which might be worth watching. And the big point that they both say is they don't believe it's necessary. And what I also want to add here is that while they are saying they don't think it's necessary, they are also not telling other people to not eat greens. So I'm not saying that they are anti-greens, they just believe that they don't need to be eating them for the reasons I've mentioned. And so Ted says that a lot of people think with the more is better mentality, and that greens basically have a lot more minerals and fruit have a lot less, and that minerals are needed in very small amounts, which compared to vitamins is true, but with minerals, sure, they're needed in trace amounts, but if fruit don't even have trace amounts, you're not going to get it. So even though we're talking about really small amounts, if you're not getting that small amount, you're not getting enough. And there's two types of minerals, different categories. Basically, there's macro and micro minerals, and there's various minerals in the micro mineral category, like boron and molybdenum and fluoride and all these kind of minerals that are needed in tiny amounts, chromium and so on and so forth, that first of all we don't know a whole heck of a lot about, and then there are the other macro minerals that are much more known, such as sodium and so on and so forth. And so both Ted and Brianna acknowledge that this is not really something that's science-based that they're doing. It's more of an experiment, which I love experiments. That's awesome. You know, use your body and experiment and hey, see what works. And if it works, then more people will follow suit. But it is good that they acknowledge that what they're doing is not really science-based or founded in science. And what I'm going to do is basically look at what they're doing with what the science says. So let's get into that. Is it necessary? Ted and Brianna do not believe that it is. Let's look at this nutrient by nutrient. We're not going to look at all of the vitamins and minerals. We're just going to look at the heavy hitters, the ones that are going to be difficult for someone to get enough of without eating any greens, with only eating fruits and tomatoes and cucumbers. So what I started out with doing was inputting into Chronometer all sorts of different fruits of about 500 calorie servings, and then what I did is I picked the best ones and created like 2,000 and 3,000 calorie meals out of these to find what ideal meal hit pretty much every single nutrient. And with the best of the best variety of all these different fruits in a super specialized diet, we were able to get our RDI or our DRI, daily recommended intake, of everything except for sodium, selenium, and zinc. If we added in like 10 medium tomatoes or 2 or 3 cucumbers, we got the zinc as well. So now what I'm going to do is go through all of the different vitamins and minerals that you might not hit if you're not eating such a specialized diet where you have all these different combinations of fruits to hit all those minerals and vitamins. And I'm going to go over what the daily recommended intake is, what that nutrient does in your body, the purpose, and what might happen if there's a deficiency, and what different fruits and veggies are high in them, or not even veggies, just fruits. Keep in mind the consensus in the nutrition community is that you need to hit your daily recommended intake at least 2/3 of the time. So if you do like a food journal and 2 of the 3 days are good, then you're good. And also keep in mind, I'm using a very specific, specialized, varied diet here, including 4 or 5 or 6 different types of fruits. Most people are only eating like 1 or 2 types of fruits a day, or 3 types of fruits of serious quantities that are actually going to make up a decent amount of nutrients in that certain area. For example, if you only eat 30 bananas a day, you're going to come short on a lot of different things, which is where we're going to find out that greens are going to really help us. So I'll go through one by one: calcium, sodium, selenium, zinc, and iron, and vitamins A, E, and K. Here we go. First, vitamin A. So you need, for a female, 700 micrograms per day, and for a male, that number is 900 micrograms per day. Vitamin A is in lots of orange and red pigmented fruits and veggies, and so oranges, mango, cantaloupe, and watermelon have lots of it. But if you're only eating bananas, you're not going to have that much vitamin A. And so that's why I wanted to point vitamin A out. It's pretty easy to get, but you might not be getting enough. So keep that in mind. What does vitamin A do in the body? Growth and development, vision, and immune system function. Vitamin K deals with blood clotting and bone mineralization. Females need 90 micrograms per day, and males need 120 micrograms per day. Now, there are some fruits that have some vitamin K, like pears had a little bit, but the real heavy hitters are tomatoes, which if you eat like 10 medium tomatoes, you'll get like 97 or something micrograms. And kiwi, remember kiwi for vitamin K. Vitamin kiwi, if you eat like 500 calories of kiwi, you're gonna get like 300 some odd micrograms of vitamin K. So kiwi have quite a bit. But are you someone who's eating kiwi every day? Think about it. The last vitamin that we're going to talk about is vitamin E. And both sexes need 15 grams per day. And really the only fruit that has measurable amounts of vitamin E in it is cucumbers. Sure, other fruits have it, but in very small amounts, and at the end of the day, when you're eating 3,000 calories, you're only getting like half of the vitamin E you need. So unless you're eating a ton of calories, you're probably not going to get it all, and greens make it so easy to get it. What does vitamin E do? It's an antioxidant, and it deals with red blood cell formation. So that's the vitamins. Now let's start talking about the minerals. So first up is calcium. Both sexes need 1,000 milligrams of calcium per day. And what fruits are good for calcium? Well, there's not really anything that stood out as a real calcium powerhouse. Sometimes when you're only eating bananas or only eating something else, your calcium doesn't quite get to that 1,000 milligrams per day. So some fruits, when you eat sufficient calories, no problem, you'll get it. But other fruits, sometimes it's not going to be the case. So, like I said, sometimes yes, sometimes no. It's something that's worth watching for and looking into your diet. Again, greens make it so easy. Calcium is responsible for muscle contraction, it is responsible for nerve conduction, release of hormones, and mineralization of the bones and the teeth. Sodium is a mineral that is pretty much every single day one that you're going to fall short on. And it's important for fluid balance and nerve conduction, that kind of stuff. Sodium, you need 1.5 grams per day. And what fruits and veggies have lots of sodium, or fruits? Well, not really anything. Coconut water was okay, but who has access to coconut water that they're going to be drinking every day? Money, 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 that's expensive. Greens, super easy, solves the problem. So next we have selenium. You don't need a whole lot of it, just 55 micrograms per day. But even though you don't need much, it's not easy to get that tiny, teensy, weensy little bit when you're just eating fruit. Selenium and sodium are the real tricky ones. So selenium, it's an antioxidant, and if you're not getting enough, there's a couple diseases and different deficiencies that you can get. So Keshan disease is associated with cardiac problems, and Keshan-Beck disease is associated with cartilage problems. So there's two different diseases there. That is from selenium deficiency. Also, deficiency will see a depressed immune system function. So selenium, you don't need much, but it's super important. So zinc, only tomatoes and cucumbers really had some sort of measurable amount, and if you weren't eating them, you were not getting nearly enough zinc. Zinc, how much do you need? Females need 8 grams a day, males need 11 grams per day. Zinc is used in many different enzymes needed for proper cellular function, and it's also important for immune function. A deficiency in zinc will see a decrease in growth and a decrease in immune function. So I'm saving the best for last, and that's iron. How much is needed? Guys need 8 milligrams per day, and females need much more than that. They need 18 milligrams per day, and that's due to their natural menstrual cycle. And so, Ted said that Cappy, he doesn't eat greens. Well, he's a guy, so keep in mind that his requirement is much lower, and that's a pretty easy requirement to eat, to make. You've got guys who generally eat much more than their female counterparts, and they need way less. So they're easy to get iron, but females who are sometimes eating like 1,500 or 2,000 calories per day, it's tough to get that 18 milligrams a day. It's tough. So, what has iron in it that is a fruit? Dragon fruit, if you eat like 500 calories of it, you can get like 10 milligrams of iron. And watermelon, again about 500 calories, is 4.1 milligrams of iron. So yeah, you can eat watermelon and you can eat dragon fruit, but these fruits that do happen to have iron, you need to eat them consistently, and they're expensive and they're low calorie fruit. So again, you're spending money on this stuff when greens is super easy to just eat some lettuce. So what does iron do? Well, it's pretty important in the body. Iron is a component of the O2 or oxygen carrier, hemoglobin, and it's also important for immune function. Deficiency will show fatigue as well as a suppressed immune system. Also keep in mind that plant-based iron or non-heme iron has a very low absorption rate of like 2 to 10%. That can be increased when it's consumed with vitamin C, which as raw vegans, it often is because we're eating fruit. So iron is one of those ones that's tricky. So I know that was a lot, went over a lot of different vitamins and minerals, and while most of them probably are pretty easy to get, there's still those tricky ones that if you're not eating a really varied, specialized, and purposeful diet, selenium and sodium and iron for females, probably not going to be getting it. But as Ted and Brianna said, they don't know exactly what the ramifications of this are. They say there's so much about nutrition that we do not yet know, and that's very true. All these micro minerals, like boron, we don't know exactly what that plays in the body. Even on Chronometer and in various databases, when you look something up, they're not telling you how much boron is in that banana you just ate. And so there's other micro minerals that you might not be getting enough of that I haven't even looked at if you're not eating greens. So that's another reason to eat greens. There's so much that we don't know. But like I said, experimenting is cool, so keep going for it, and I'll be watching and seeing how it goes for you. But now let's look at some studies to back up what I'm saying. One of those trace minerals that I said that Chronometer doesn't list is iodine. And we need 150 micrograms of that stuff per day. One study compared levels of iodine in a lot of different things. Fruits, veggies, and all sorts of different food products out there that people might consider food. Let's focus on the fruits and veggies. On average, fruit had 18 micrograms per kilogram. Veggies had 236 micrograms per kilogram. So, a lot easier to get your iodine from greens. What's so important about iodine? Well, it's used by the thyroid glands, which are right here, to produce thyroid hormones. And what are thyroid hormones important for? Protein synthesis, increase number and size of mitochondria, promotion of glucose uptake, enhancing glycolysis as well as gluconeogenesis, and it also increases free fatty acid mobilization, which just gives more fatty acids available for oxidation, which means more energy. I found another study that said that over the last 50 to 70 years, fruits and vegetables in the United States and the United Kingdom have had a decrease in their vitamin and mineral content by as much as 5 to 40%. So that's big. That means that it's important to get quality fruits and veggies, and that if you're only eating fruit, you better be getting the highest quality possible for fruit. That's just another reason that greens are a good thing to include in your diet, just to make sure you're getting those other things that you might be missing on fruit. And yeah, it's a lot safer to include some greens, and I love the taste of them. Excuse me, do I have something in my teeth? Take me out to the ball game. All right, Ted says eat fruit because rub the fruit into your skin, it's gonna absorb, and we should eat what absorbs easily into our skin. He says watermelon, mango, banana, whatever. It's gonna absorb into your skin. So we have some banana here, some ripe banana, and apparently if I rub this into my skin, it's gonna disappear. So here we go. I'm just rubbing this into my skin. I smell like a banana right now. I can only imagine what I look like. Get it all over the nose, and we'll see. I might have to rub this on my whole body. Just finished a bike ride here, so the things I do, putting these things to a test. It's kind of disappearing. Who knows, this might be the next amazing hair treatment. Okay, so the banana's gone, which was cool. Never said it was wrong, I just wanted to test his theory out. Okay, so here we are. I've let this soak in for like 10 minutes. It's mostly gone. I would say a lot has absorbed. And I feel a bit sticky. Not sure how much absorbed or different fruits absorb, but thought it would be a cool experiment. And since Ted mentioned it in his video for not eating greens, figured I might as well put it to the test and rub banana on my chest. Anyway, like I said with the greens, I highly recommend them. I recommend with my clients that I deal with, they eat greens. I think it's just so much easier, especially for females, to get their iron, and it just makes it super easy to eat greens. I love the taste of them, especially really high quality stuff, whether it's Boston or Iceberg, Romaine, Greenleaf. There's a lot of really nice tender leafy greens out there. I like celery as well. Not such a huge fan of spinach, chard, kale. Eat them every now and then, collards and so on. I love the tender leafy greens. And I eat them pretty much without fail every single day. And I also did a quick little experiment of like a week eating just fruit, some bananas and mangoes, little island there, and at the end I was like, oh, I want some greens. I love those greens, crunchy, water rich, love it. So that's my 2 cents. Did a fair bit of research to make this video, so hope it helped. And I'm gonna go shower, get this banana off me, and eat a salad for dinner. Peace. Fruit, functional fitness. Ah. Oh yeah, it's Double Organic. Did you know I offer raw food coaching? Comment, like, share, and subscribe. Got epic recipes, fitness, and raw food motivation. Connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Whoa, look at all those recipes. Those look tasty. Give me some of that.